live. You will notice that the doc part of us is missing today. And as you might imagine, if you've been watching Doc's reels and things like that on Instagram, and certainly her YouTube channel, you will notice that Doc is working on her greenhouse. And the good news is, from the videos I have seen and the chats that we have had, the cool thing that I have seen is she's getting closer and closer to that ultimate finale, if you will, as far as the structure itself being up. The reason that is so incredibly impactful, I actually was watching the Weather Channel today, the news piece of our local community, and in between, yay Chiefs, go Chiefs, we were also noticing that the weather is about to shift in a really big way. And the weathercaster said, be sure and pull out those heavy winter coats. Oh my gosh. So apparently in the Kansas City area, we are getting closer and closer to the time when Doc is really going to need that greenhouse for all of her plants, all the vegetation that she grows all the time. And now she'll be able to have year-round food for her family, which obviously is the goal. So anyway, Doc, continued blessings to you as you work so hard on that greenhouse. And I know that you're getting super close to the finale, and that is very exciting for all of us to see. So welcome everyone to Doc and Queenie Facebook Live. We're thrilled that you're with us every Monday at high noon, and we love the community building that's going on here. I have been able to watch/stalk some of the things that I get to see in the community, and it is super fun for me because every time I learn something new, I love to share it with people. So this morning, actually, I got to be at a posting party with the worldwidechamber.com, 10 o'clock Central Time every Monday morning. I love being able to share the information I have gathered over the years on what makes LinkedIn effective and, quite frankly, what makes it not. And so that's some of the things that we talked about today. So I just wanted to offer, if your organization wants a facilitator for a posting party, anyone certainly in the Doc and Queenie community, I'm happy to do that at no charge. So it's about 40-ish, 30, 40-ish minutes of training and going over the fundamental pieces of how to make your profile more effective, free advertising, how to do your audio and video messaging, how to get your own QR code from your LinkedIn account. This is all the free part. It's not premium LinkedIn, which is cool. And then how to take that post you just made that's amazing and put it into the posting party so everyone can respond and actually comment on it. Just makes everything a lot more effective. So if your group would like a posting party, I'm happy to do that the next time you have your meeting, provided we can get all these schedules coordinated. Because what I have found is that is usually the largest challenge. But I'm happy to do it for anyone in our Doc and Queenie community because, first of all, it changes your meeting up a little. Let's say, for example, you have your monthly, quarterly, weekly, daily meeting that you have with your organization, your team, your company, whatever that looks like. And it's the same old blah, blah, blah. People turn their screens off, turn their cameras off, and supposedly listen and or review the transcript and or review the chat. That's it. No engagement. So if you would like to zap it up a little bit and offer a posting party to your team just to create a little bit more excitement, training, education, etc., then again, I'm happy to do that. Now, let's think about, in fact, I better do this. So in case Doc is watching, I wanted to show you that we have implemented, if you will, the wheel of names for our Doc and Queenie family here, okay? And if you haven't used wheelofnames.com yet, I would love to encourage you to do so. First of all, once again, it kind of livens up the room a bit as far as 10 people just participated in your event and you want to give away a something. So I've been using this actually for a while and I love it because instead of picking a name or even drawing a number or whatever that looks like, for me, it's just more fun to do the wheel. People like to see their names and lights, so to speak. And so when Doc and I thought that our third year as a community, that we would actually be able to incorporate the wheel of names into our weekly Doc and Queenie Facebook Lives, we thought the wheel of names would be a fun way to do that. Now, regardless of part of this comes up, we're actually going to talk, let's see how close this would be, as a matter of fact. Okay, well, that's not bad. Event photos. This is a good one for me also, actually, because event photos are impactful. And that piece, we put everything on there that we could think of that people struggle with, or we see on some of these posts that they don't take it as far as perhaps they could. So event photos, when you say, we take pictures at our event all the time. Yes. And we're super glad that you do, because it's very fun to share and to see other people's event photos, all of that. Yes. But what if they're not branded? All of a sudden, you've got these Brady Bunch squares that have 12, 15, 100 people on them, and you don't know what group it is. Well, I posted, I write it in there. Please, I understand that. The bigger deal for me is if it's not branded, then how do people see that brand, see that brand, see that brand every time and say, I'd really like to go to that event with you? Absolutely. Absolutely. But event photos are such a biggie. Get a couple people together, 2 or 3 in a group, take a picture of the table, and then always be sure to take a picture of the whole room, and then put the collage together and then brand it. Either write it in the picture, on the picture, or above the picture, and put it together in PowerPoint or Canva or whatever you use for your picture edits. But event photos is a biggie, and branding that picture when you're posting it all over social media. What is the worldwidechamber.com? What is Christian Women Entrepreneur Network? What is Fun Fearless Female Global Community of Christian Women? What is Doc and Queenie Community? So what is the Happy Neighborhood Project? All of those different brands that you can put in your picture just really does make it not only more impactful, but it gives kudos to your group. But even bigger than that, people see that and start to identify, oh yeah, branding, branding, branding. And once again, when you see Brady Bunch squares all day long on social media, you're kind of just going blah, 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 because you don't know what group it's to. So please consider that. Okay, what I wanted to talk about today, which is one of the things I was actually training on this weekend, is YouTube. Now, before you hang up, please think about this. Do you have a playlist on YouTube? And again, thank you, Stephanie Zimmerman, for that tutorial that you did with me a couple of years ago to get my books recorded in playlist order, so that they in chapter order, so they would be on a playlist. And all you have to do is start at the beginning intro, it loops all the way through to the book, and boom, you're done. So it did make it tons easier. So thank you for that. But I'm talking about a playlist that you can add a video to when you find something that you like, that you can add to your own channel. I'm going to show you, because once again, I was training on this weekend, and it seemed to be an impactful piece for what I was showing the group. First of all, obviously, when you go to YouTube, everybody's doing their ads and trying to rank and paying for this and paying for that. I understand that. But for me, one of the things I have found, when you have your own channel, and obviously you check your layout all the time, check out your different videos, what you've done, if you're keeping some private until you actually want to post them, whatever that looks like, okay? But please think about when you are initially customizing your YouTube channel. One of the first things I talk about is adding other people's channel to yours. So you'll notice when you go to any YouTube channel and you see the navigation bar at the top, home, videos, playlist, community, channels, about, that whole drill, okay? Check on channels, because basically that shows what channels that person is supporting. Now, why does that matter? Well, it matters to me. If somebody is supporting your channel, I'd like to thank them. I just added your channel to my preferred list. You did? And then, of course, I get, how did you do that? So I'm just going to scroll down, because there's several people in our fantastic Doc and Queenie community on my channel. People I've met in other networking groups, and I always say, do you have a channel? Some of them say, yeah. So I add their channel to my preferred list. So when you're on someone's YouTube channel, just perusing around, take a look and see when you click on the channel link button, have they added other people to their own YouTube channel? Now, mine is called Kathy's Network of Happy Professionals. You can name it everything you want, anything you want, your preferred list, your superstars. Be creative with that. It's just kind of fun for people to see themselves on your channel, okay? But let's think maybe a little bigger and realize that you're basically cross-pollinating, which means when someone comes to your channel to subscribe to it or to take a look at something, they can see who you quote support and or have cross-pollinated with, and you're able to see a little bit more as far as what they do, okay? So think about having a preferred list so you can add other people's channels to yours. All right, back to the playlist. This is the part I wanted to get to because I have noticed that people are not utilizing the playlist perhaps as effectively, efficiently as they could. Okay. Now, I mentioned earlier that Stephanie Zimmerman's child actually said, why don't you do a playlist? Because Stephanie was trying to listen to all my books when I recorded them back during the pandemic. And here's chapter 1, and here's chapter 9, and here's chapter 23, and everything was just da-da-da. I didn't know what a playlist was. So of course I look up on YouTube how to create a playlist on YouTube. Luckily, YouTube is great. Stephanie's great. And I was able to figure out how to create a playlist on YouTube. So now again, my books are in order as far as the looping. But what happens if you take it one step further? You can create your own videos on YouTube, yay. But now, what happens if you've got tutorials that you listen to over and over again, trainings that you love, ministries and different churches that you subscribe to, and you wanted to hear that sermon one more time, okay? You'll notice I've got Delinda Lane on here, Fun, Fearless Female Global Community of Christian Women, and she's actually singing in the Grand Canyon, okay? How great thou art. By the way, if you haven't listened to that yet, oh my goodness. Impactful, powerful, amazing. But I've got that on one of my playlists, and it's Delinda Lane. So when people come to my channel, they can see once again the playlist that I support. Plus, when I want to send this video to someone to introduce them to Delinda Lane, okay, as soon as I open up, I knew I have it on my playlist, so I knew that I could find it. So I knew that I could go to Delinda Lane playlist, find exactly the one I like, because Delinda has recorded lots of songs. All of them are fabulous, but this is actually the one I refer and post and share most often. So you'll notice right here on the link right underneath the video, it says share. As soon as you click on that, and I will here, as soon as I click on it, I can either post it on any of my different platforms if I want, but more importantly, I hit copy. And now that link is on my clipboard, CyberAir, as I call it. And now I can email it, text it, Facebook message, LinkedIn message, whatever I want to do to the person that was asking about Delinda's Grand Canyon, How Great Thou Art video. Okay. Now, let's go back to playlists so you can see all of them. Okay, all of them. So when you click on playlists, you'll be able to notice, close that out for a sec. You'll be able to notice that I have many, yes, because I have created them over the years, for real. And playlists of my books, playlists of networking groups, playlists, of course, of Doc and Queenie, playlists. But what I want to talk about today is the playlist for Hop In. What the Hop In? Now, Hop In is a platform that you can do as a live vendor event, which is incredibly super cool. So it's like going to a big convention center virtually. Here are the vendors over here in the expo, who's in the lobby, who's on the stage, who's doing speed networking. It literally is if you're actually going to a convention center and you go over here to look about cooking, and you go over here to look about gardening, and you go over here to learn about whatever else they're teaching in all these little alcoves of this incredibly huge group. That's what hopin.com offers. So we're having a big event for Happy Neighborhood Project this Friday, October 7th, from 9 to 3 Pacific time, 11 to 5 Central time. And so I'm good with these time conversions, at least I'm getting better. So we're going to be having our vendor event, Global Happiness Summit, it's called. This is the 12th annual on hopin.com. So of course, everybody's freaking out. How do I do hopin.com? I don't know how to do it, even though this is the third time we've done it. October 8th was the first, then March 18th was the next one, and then of course this one. So how do I do that? I don't know how to do that. So I have shared the tutorials that I found on YouTube with my friends. How do I do a vendor event at Hopin? How do I create an account? How do I do the stage? It's StreamYard-esque from a standpoint of people are backstage. You pull them up when you want them to be the speaker. But then the navigation bar, everything's on the left-hand side. Where do you want to go? I want to go to the expo where the vendors are. Cool. Click on that. The big expo page opens up, and now you get to pick which vendor booth you want to go visit. Kind of take a look at that. And so it's a very cool platform, but people have been curious, fried, freaked out, whatever that looks like. And I have not been let down yet by YouTube. I have not been let down yet on YouTube. Every time I say, how do I this, where do I that, what's my something, I have not been let down yet on YouTube. You will always find something about a video. And while we're talking about that piece, what if you are great at something that a lot of people don't know how to do? Okay, let's even think Doc. She's so great at all of this, I call it sous chefing, that she and her family do for their prepared meals. They just chop the heck out of something, flip all this stuff together, and the next thing you know, they've got meal extraordinaire. If a lot of you know how to do that, that's great, but that is definitely not my, can't even say this with a straight face. That is definitely not my forte. So if I'm going to prepare a meal, it is going to be a concentrated effort. And if I've got an opportunity for a YouTube video where it's a step-by-step, how do I this system, and I can pause it and start again and pause it and start again, then it helps me get my end result accomplished. So if you're great at something, YouTube it, make a video right here like we're doing on Zoom. I stayed on Zoom today instead of StreamYard for this very reason, because I find it easy to navigate and StreamYard takes a lot of bandwidth, at least that I have found. And so when you have something that you're great at, make a video, just write Zoom, even with your camera, but I feel it's easier with the computer. Record it. It converts, it takes it into an MP4 file. Don't freak out about these numbers. You rename it whatever you want to rename it, which is what I'm going to do here when we're finished. And then I'm going to upload the Doc and Queenie Facebook Live today onto our YouTube channel. Now, if something here today was impactful for you, you take that video that you see on my YouTube channel, even from your phone, there's 3 dots on the right-hand side of that video. When you click on those 3 dots, it says add to playlist. So in my case, I add this video that we're doing together right now, and I add it to the Doc and Queenie playlist on my YouTube channel. Boom. So now if I want to find a Doc and Queenie video, instead of going through all of my 500 and whatever I'm up to now, 70 or 80 or whatever that, maybe 590, I don't remember how many videos I have right this second. But instead of going through every one of those and trying to find out what's up, I can go to Doc and Queenie Guest Live, Doc and Queenie, whatever we're talking about, click on the playlist and either go by date, which is incredibly helpful, or being able to kind of see what the background is to know what the topic was. Okay. So let's please think about how to use a playlist, but let's get back to Hopin for a second. Hopin.com, very cool platform, not severely expensive from what I have witnessed. I think it's only like 99 bucks a month or something, depending upon how many tickets you sell for your event. And now there's a tutorial. So let's take a listen just for 1 second so you can get the
better since we started managing all our work on
Monday.
Monday.
Right, skip ads.
This is Dave with Hopin.
Here we go.
Show you the attendee experience in a live Hopin event.
Maybe
So
you
we're in a
can't
Hopin
hear it,
event
so
right
let me
now.
think about that.
I'm in the reception area. Reception area is the first thing that you see when you land in a Hopin event.
Okay, I'm
Over
going
here
to
on the
pause
left,
him
you
for a
can see
second
there are
because I want to
different-
show you something. If you could not hear the audio on his video, and this is just an if. I don't know if you can see this part of my screen, but when you're doing a share screen with someone, at the very top right of the navigation bar of the share screen piece, where it says your screen sharing, you click on more, okay? And you scroll down to where it says share sound. So just in case you couldn't hear that, because I obviously could.
Areas in a Hopin event. So you can think of Hopin kind of like a virtual venue with different rooms that have different live video collaboration functions.
Okay, so a little bit about Dave, a little bit about the Hopin venue. So once again, if you can't hear the audio messages, there's always ways to navigate that. But at the top of the bar, and I don't know if you can actually see this bar when I'm doing a share screen, if they let you see the background, so to speak. But in case you are doing a share screen with someone and you want someone to hear your website or hear your message or hear your YouTube, then that is a great reminder. Right above the share screen tab where it says stop share, there's a black navigation bar, and over on the right, it says more, always 3 dots, click more. Scroll down, 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 and it says share sound. Just click on that, and now you can hear the video that you're sharing.
You have the reception, stage, sessions, networking, and expo. And
right. So he's talking all about the navigation piece. So why does this matter to me? Because I put this particular, okay, I put this particular video on my playlist. Now, what playlist did I call it? Please know that everything on YouTube is very, very, very editable and customizable. And so when I went into the playlist topic, I had Kathy's networking, all my books, Delinda Lane, all of these different things, and even a list that says Kathy's favorites. That's kind of where I pop stuff in that I use a lot for sharing with other teams. And so I made a playlist called Hop In Videos. How did you make another playlist? Please go to YouTube. How do I make a playlist on a YouTube channel? Because I promise it's there. That's how I learned. But I just want you to get used to going to YouTube for everything, because like I say, it has not let me down yet. So now I have Hop In Videos as my playlist.
On every vacation.
Dave, I don't want that one, but when you click on the playlist, you'll be able to see all the different videos. There it is, view full playlist. Be sure that you read. So now I've got my Hop In demos that I've been using, whether you're a vendor, whether you're this, whether you're an attendee, whether you're a what, or whether you're a host. And now when somebody says, can you show me again how to do that Hop In stuff, rather than reinvent the wheel, or certainly me do another training that takes too much time out of my particular schedule, now you've got an opportunity to go to your playlist. Please remember to use YouTube, because I seriously use it all day long. Go to your playlist, pick out what demo they're wanting as far as navigation, and share that video with whomever needs it. Okay? So please consider sharing whatever video you're talking about with someone else. And don't be shy about that, because once again, most people appreciate it. And it's super awesome to be able to see the navigation. Now, as you can tell, on when you hover over whatever video it is, when you're saying, how do I share it? Do I have to open it every time? For me, the answer is no. On the right-hand side, and again, I can't tell how much of the screen of mine you can see with some of the navigation bars, but when you just hover your mouse over any of these videos, okay, live recording of a hop-in group demo event, that was very super cool. Okay, that was very super cool. And when you hover your mouse over it, now you go to the right, hello, 3 dots. The whole world is run by 3 dots. And it gives me that option again, save to playlist. I already did, but in case it wants me to send it to Doc and Queenie playlist, I can do that. Remove from hop-in videos, I can do that. Move to the top, move to the bottom, see the playlist, I can do that. Now, if I want to share, okay, if I save it to playlist, that's one thing. But if I want to actually share the video.
Hey everybody, this is Dave Schools.
Sorry, Dave. As we did it before, as soon as it opens, whichever one you're sure you want to share, click on the share button, boom, just like we did with the Linda's. And now you can either send it to whatever platform you're wanting or click copy. Now it's in CyberAir on your clipboard, and then you can text it, LinkedIn it, Facebook Messenger it, whatever you want to do. So I just wanted to share a little bit of this today as far as the different ways you can use YouTube effectively for your business, for your posting parties, for your events coming up. Whatever you've got going on, use the playlist, take someone else's video that you love or that has been impactful for you and add it to a playlist. Favorite Bible verses, okay? Now you're watching a Bible video. I have several pastors that I follow. So whatever one that YouTube that you're watching with that pastor, it literally, you click on it and always look for those 3 dots because that is your navigation lifeline. Click on the 3 dots, and I do that part from my phone just because I find it quicker. And now 3 dots, add to playlist. As soon as you click on add to playlist, it says which one do you want to add it to? Well, as you saw, I have several. So in this particular case, yesterday when I was trying to help someone with this, they had not seen the hop-in videos yet, and I had not created a hop-in playlist yet. I knew where they were. I go to hop-in to find it, and I thought, I got to make this easier because this is making me nuts. So I went, and when it said add to playlist, at the top, it says +, new playlist. Boom. What do you want to call it? Hop-in demos, hop-in videos. I created the playlist, added that video to it, and now you see I've got a brand new playlist for hop-in videos. If someone wants to see what those videos are just by going to my YouTube channel, hello, more traffic for me. Boom. So you can kind of see where it's a win-win situation. I just wanted to share that today because we talk about YouTube a lot. We talk about LinkedIn. We talk about Instagram. We talk about TikTok. We talk about Twitter. We talk about Alignable. We even talk about Pinterest and some of those other platforms. And if you don't know how to work it, most people just say, forget it, I'm not doing that. I always say, I got to figure this out. So it's just a different personality style. It's a different opportunity to look around and see what works for you. And if you haven't found a platform that you love yet, then please consider the more of them that you use, the better off you will be to find out which way you find your clients, which way increases traffic. Now, on a personal note, this happened just a couple weeks ago. I joined LinkedIn in October of 2007. All of us start at the beginning. We talk about that a lot. So when I joined it in October of 2007, not only did I not have a clue what I was doing. Now things have changed, social media platforms, algorithm, all that stuff, that's totally changed. I get that. But when I started my LinkedIn profile in October 2007, awful, awful, awful. Didn't have a banner, didn't do a bio correctly. Profile picture was okay, but it was what was on my business card just for consistency. So whatever. The featured section didn't happen because I didn't have YouTube channel yet. So I added a few pictures about my Kangen water business. It was rough looking. And I knew that, but I didn't know how to fix it. And I didn't figure anybody would go to my page anyway, because who cares? So I would do a post probably every quarter, maybe every month, but never consistently. and my traffic showed that. So then I realized with my business, I needed to be a little more proactive and a little more consistent with my posting. Okay, great. Well, now the bigger issue is, how do I post? What do I post, etc. Didn't know how to do hashtags, didn't know how to tag organizations, certainly didn't know how to make my own business page on LinkedIn, which I now have. How do you do that? How to create a LinkedIn business page on YouTube. Yeah. So I went to YouTube and asked the question. YouTube has not let me down yet. So now I've got a business page, activity, etc. A couple weeks ago, one of my new friends in Australia, I've known her for about a year and a half through the Happy Neighborhood Project Australia group, Misty Hinkle. She's been supporting me on my YouTube channel. She has needed my grief journey book. And so she has been edifying all over the place for what that book has done for her. And she's the networking queen. So I thought, wouldn't that be fun to send the networking queen my networking books along with my grief journey book so that she would actually have them in her hand instead of just on YouTube to listen to. So I've never done an international shipment before in my life until this one. And so that was pretty fun for me. I didn't know how to fill out a customs form and all this stuff, but it was cool. And I just happened to post the pictures of the book getting ready to be put into the envelope to ship to Australia. And as of this morning, I have almost 2,500 views on that post that I'm sending my books to Misty. Now, strategic planning, of course, I tagged Misty, I hashtagged Australia. I think I tagged Happy Neighborhood Project because that's how we met. I tagged international, I tagged shipment, hashtagged several things like that. And of course, I commented my own, I was the first person to comment on my post, which I also teach as strategy. And the next thing you know, 2,500 views. I can't remember actually how many comments so far, but it was a phenomenal amount, especially compared to what I had been used to. Let me look it up real quick. So I will have this as accuracy. It's super easy to find your post, by the way. Okay, my goodness, 2497 views of Misty's books on their way, 89 comments. Once again, my friends, this was not my norm. So if you need a posting party for your organization, anyone in the Doc and Queenie community, I'm happy to do that at no charge. But the bigger issue is if you're not happy with your traffic, if you don't have a free audio and free video message, if you don't utilize the free advertising, if you don't know where your LinkedIn QR code is, if your contact info is not where you want it to be, please consider a posting party because they're fun and they seriously help. And now that you are an expert at YouTube, you can have featured videos on your LinkedIn page from your YouTube channel to keep everything cross-pollinating. So now as a parting shot, okay, go to Google, just like you would be typing in anything in the search bar. Search for plumber in Kansas City. Search for whatever you usually search for in Google. But now I want you to search for hashtag posting party, hashtag networking in Kansas City, hashtag Kangen Water, Kansas City, and see what comes up. If you don't think hashtags work, my friends, I'm here to tell you they do. So now I want you to Google search you. Type in your name, type in your business, type in your industry. I want you to Google search you and see what comes up. If it's not where you want it to be yet, there's so many strategies, so many techniques. Does it happen overnight? Absolutely not. Just like with Doc's greenhouse, this is a labor of love all the time. Social media works, but I promise it's not instant. Building relationships work, but I promise for me, those have not been instant. But I would not give them up for anything in the world. This has been a blast. Doc and Queenie community has been a blast. We are certainly thrilled to be in our third year. Can't wait to see Doc's YouTube videos about her greenhouse, what she's going to grow in it. If you have suggestions for anything as far as what would be grown in a greenhouse, or I did this in my greenhouse and it worked great, Doc is a kitchen garden expert to be sure. We can all learn from her. And all of a sudden she goes, I wonder if I can do garlic. I wonder if I can do chili peppers. I wonder if I can do, and the next thing you know, she's got Bounty and Harvest. So this has been so fun today, honestly, being able to watch people grow. I stalk everybody, by the way, on social media. And when I see just one tip or trick or technique that we show out here, and I see that you have done it, and now when you do a Google search, you come to the top. Look what happens when you type in Kathy Weaver KC, which stands for Kansas City. That's my brand. My platforms show up. Accident? No. Strategy. So please consider that as we continue to see you next week at high noon on Doc and Queenie Facebook Live. And hopefully by then we'll get to see some finale pictures of Doc's amazing greenhouse. Thank you for being with us today, my friends, and we will see you very soon on Doc and Queenie group page. And don't hesitate to share your events that you've got coming up so we can all join in together. Bye for now.